a living one dares to address me? How amusing. Tread lightly, you say? You should be the one treading lightly, mortal. You have entered my domain, where the shadows are long and the silence is oppressive. I have watched countless souls like yours come and go, never to return. Your footsteps disturb the rest of the departed, and your presence is tolerated for now. State your business and be quick about it. The darkness is growing impatient.
Welcome to Grimwald House, for silver sons of fathers, star of broken clouds, with weekly honors. by night and the stars shine below as the sky turns about, as the moon starts to flow. It wanders the sky in anticipation for the dead rest. To what end does rest not preclude activity? Will they arise one day and furrow their brows at the world they left for only a time? Will they seek some sort of refuge, some sort of climb? Will it be dry and warm, or damp and cold? For the dead range from the very young to the very old. Will they find solace in the nook of a tree? Will they settle in by some southern sea? Perhaps, perchance, their room with thee, snuggled all warm under your covers and doffed on your pillow. They'll bring a new coolness to the sheets and a chill to your spine as you try to seek the rest that they finally did find. But no worries, as you die of fright or of lack of sleep, for you too will get rested and do the night creep.
A dream's whisper in the shadowed night. In dawn's reluctant grip I rise, a tremor in the silent skies, a sound unearthly, strange and wild, that wakes the soul, confused, beguiled. A howl that's like a screaming knock, a voice that lurks behind the clock, it pierces through the darkened air, a ghostly echo, sharp and rare. Up the stairs, I creep with dread, a shadow's whisper in my head, the house, a maze of ghostly screams, where nightmare's fabric softly gleams. A chopping sound, moist and deep, as if the woods themselves did weep, then silence, thick, oppressive, tight, a pause before the fading light. I reach for truth, I seek the glow, but darkness whispers, slow and low, the bulb explodes before I see, a horror hiding, haunting me. A heartbeat, not mine, pounds loud, a pulse beneath the haunted cloud, and outside, the stump with clawed scars, blood like ink on midnight stars. A nightmare spun from shadow's thread, a restless dream I wish I'd fled, yet waking leaves a lingering doubt, was it dream, or was it about? In morning's calm, I find relief, a fleeting peace, a fragile belief, but shadows whisper, soft and sly, remember what you saw, and why. And as my wife asks, I remain silent, shaken, eased by pain, for in the night's unspoken gloom, lurks what we dare not assume.
along. I stop the spasms cold and numb. With every step I direct its swell, a haunting echo tolling now. What lives between the light and dark, a presence wasted by the sun. In that vast space where shadows creep, yet here in gloom the silence calls. A spectre loomed, a void profound. In that abyss no light was found. It whispered secrets of despair, a heavy shroud that filled the air. I crossed the threshold, heart to thrum, as darkness beckoned, cold and numb. With every step a directed swirl, a haunting echo, a tolling bell. What lies between the light and night, a presence once in the line of sight. In the vast space where shadows creep, the very air seemed thick and deep. Oh, what awaits in shadows cast, a phantom sign, a memory past. Yet still I tread, no feelings winds, for even in darkness the spirit shines. In shadow halls where whispers dwell, between the light a tale to tell. A room adorned with ghostly grace, yet darkness hides a chilling trace. The spectre of my fear delude, as silence thickened, filled the room. With every step a casting bread, for stumbling toes on fears long dead. The coolest lights surround my brain, a cloud of red, a whispered name. I sense the gaze unseen profound, a lurking presence all around. I venture not my hands outspread, to touch the void where shadows tread. With trepidation I cross the line, into the dark, the cold divine. Yet as I move, the shivers sweat, a ghostly touch, though none had crept. No fingers grasped, no hand did cling, but still the air held something sting. A chill that danced along my spine, a presence felt, yet none could find. In haunted rooms where phantoms play, the heart beats loud, yet fears betray. For in the dark where spirits weave, I saw the light, yet chose to grieve. A battle fought in realms unseen, between the known and what has been. So tread with care, for shadows call, for in their grip we risk our fall. In darkness deep and mist on fields of grey, I wander lost in shadows' cold embrace. As I could pierce the veil of night's decay, I found some hands that grasp my stones of legal race.
I walk among the graves at night. I feel the chill that is my blight. I look to the east, but there comes no light. For this is the very last night. Something sinister moves in the stillness. Eyes peer from the depths of darkness. In the east, but there comes no light. For this is the very last night. Something sinister moves in the stillness. Eyes peer from the depths of darkness. In the east, but there comes no light. For this is the very last night. silence calls. A spectre loomed, a void profound. In that abyss, no light was found. It whispered secrets of despair, a heavy shroud that filled the air. I crossed the threshold, heart athrum, as darkness beckoned, cold and numb. With every step, the dread did swell, a haunting echo, a tolling bell. What lurks between the light and night? A presence waits, devoid of sight. In that vast space where shadows creep, the very air seemed thick and deep. Oh, what awaits in shadows cast? A phantom sight, a memory past. Yet still I tread, though fear entwines. For even in darkness, the spirit shines. It whispered secrets of despair, a heavy shroud that filled the air. I crossed the threshold, heart athrum, as darkness beckoned, cold and numb. With lurks between the light and night, a presence waits, devoid of sight. In that vast space where shadows creep, the very air seems thick and deep. Oh, what awaits in shadows cast? A phantom sigh, a memory past. Yet still I tread, though fear entwines. For even in darkness, the spirit shines. In shadowed halls where whispers dwell, between the light, a tale to tell. Adorned with ghostly grace, yet darkness hides a chilling trace. The specter of my fear did loom, as silence thickened, filled the room. With every step, a caution bred, for stubbing toes on fears long dead. The coolness wrapped around my frame, a clammy grip, a whispered name. I sensed a gaze unseen profound, a lurking presence all around. I ventured forth, my hands outspread, to touch the void where shadows tread. With trepidation I crossed the line into the dark, the cold divine. Yet as I moved, a shiver swept, a ghostly touch, though none had crept. No fingers grasped, no hand did cling, but still the air held something sting. A chill that danced along my spine, a presence felt, yet none could find. In haunted rooms where phantoms play, the heart beats loud, yet fears betray. For in the dark, where spirits weave, I sought the light, yet chose to grieve. A battle fought in realms unseen, between the known and what has been. So tread with care when shadows call, for in their grip we risk our fall. In darkness deep, like mist on fields of clay, I wandered lost, these shadows cold and raised. As I filled They clutched my back like whispers in the gloom, reaching for depths where silent terrors dwell. A surge of fear ignited in my room, a tempest wild and echoing farewell. With heart in frantic flight, each breath a dance with fate's unyielding hand. Yet in that gloom I crave the dawning light, to pierce the veil, to break the darkened strand. But love, to pierce the veil, to break the darkened strand. Below, when light did strip my fears away, it flickered, dimmed, and vanished, gone astray.